My entire marriage evaporated into thin air the moment her laptop synced a single, devastating notification while she was miles away. Welcome back to the channel for a narrative that will make you question how well you truly know your partner. I never intended to become a digital detective, but I uncovered my wife's infidelity with a colleague in a hotel suite, and the evidence was undeniable. My spouse is 31, and I am 33. We have shared history spanning 8 years, with the last 6 spent in matrimony. First, I must express my gratitude for your patience as you listen to this. Sleep has evaded me for days, and my mind has been caught in a relentless, dizzying whirlwind. My wife departed for an overseas corporate retreat with several team members. During the initial days, they lodged at a hotel, and despite her packed schedule, she consistently initiated video calls before sleeping. Everything appeared normal. On the third day, exactly 48 hours ago, the group transferred to a new site to collaborate on a major initiative with local staff. That day was demanding, resulting in sparse communication from her. 4 hours of silence passed before she finally messaged me near 11 at night in her time zone, stating she was visiting the spa facility with female colleagues. She claims to be sharing accommodation with a woman we will name V, who is from another country. The spa is located within their secure compound, a typical activity in that region, though the hour seemed late considering their exhaustion. 2.5 hours passed before she messaged again at 1:30 in the morning. She wrote, "Heading to bed. Text you when I wake. Love you." I responded. There was no mention of fatigue, no explanation for the inability to call, and no details regarding her activities during that long gap. I am not possessive, but this lack of detail was a departure from her usual communication style. It felt aloof, icy, and entirely unlike her. A primal instinct triggered deep in my stomach. My intuition rarely fails, and I have learned not to ignore it. For reasons I will detail later, a dark cloud hung over this entire trip, but my internal alarm bells were not fully ringing until that moment. I needed to understand the situation. Conveniently, she left her laptop at our house. It mirrors her messages, allowing me to witness conversations as they occur. She had an active chat thread with a man we will call K. Her final message to him was sent simultaneously with her last text to me. It was a single icon, a mending heart with a bandage. I had never witnessed her use that specific graphic and had no context for its meaning. I left the computer running while preparing for sleep, and then, absolute shock. A message from my wife appeared. "Come to room number 3. My pulse skyrocketed instantly. I began shouting, weeping, and feeling utter devastation because despite my unease, my wife was the last human I expected to betray me. I survived a previous relationship involving infidelity and learned to spot the red flags. My wife was the antithesis of that, or perhaps she is simply a master of deception. I began sprinting through hypothetical situations. Perhaps room 3 referred to a party location with the group. But why message only K? Maybe he was in distress and needed a friend. Maybe she was inviting him for V, her roommate. But why wouldn't V message him directly? What business would K have with V while my wife was present, barring any group experimentation? Was my wife even in the room with V? She claimed a week prior that they were roommates, but arrangements change. While my thoughts raced, I noticed K's message remained undelivered. Perhaps his battery died. An hour later, K replied, "On my way." The status remained unread. I assumed she fell asleep and he would knock, realize it, and leave. However, the message remained unread for 7 hours. I forced myself to remain conscious, as it was the only way to monitor the situation. Then, before my eyes, the entire conversation history vanished. The few innocent explanations I clung to evaporated instantly. An hour later, my wife messaged another colleague, stating she possessed K's phone and asked them to inform him. K and my wife did not exchange messages for the remainder of the day. The reason I harbored doubts about this trip stems from an event weeks prior. My wife, a friend, and I went out for cocktails and met her team. I had met some before, but not K. I heard his name casually, and I doubt she works directly with him, explaining why other names appeared more frequently in her stories. At the bar, while dancing, K held an object which my wife playfully snatched and placed in her pocket. That sparked my first pang of jealousy. Her demeanor toward him was distinct compared to the others. We moved outside. While I spoke to someone else, she engaged K. She stood too close, her hand lingering on his arm seconds too long. Minutes later, they embraced. I was irritated because she had spent the week overworked, prioritizing colleagues, and showing me zero affection. Yet here she was, doting on this man. At home, I voiced my observation and slept on the couch. She escalated the argument, asking how I dared accuse her, packed a bag, and claimed she was going to a hotel. It was too late for check-ins, so I called her bluff. She left, but the downstairs door never slammed. She left her tablet at home, logged into social media. I am not proud, but I needed answers. I saw a thread where she planned drinks with a male friend she hadn't seen in years. It didn't seem nefarious. They were purely platonic. Then, that thread was deleted in real time. I became fixated, missing other deletions because I was intoxicated. I texted her about the plans. She claimed she only wanted to see her friend. I called it a lie. She claimed no plans were made. I told her I saw the texts. She denied it, shifting the narrative to, "How dare you doubt me?" citing work stress and apologizing for not being adequate. I told her to come upstairs to clarify things if I misunderstood. She returned but admitted nothing, crying about her inadequacies. I felt guilty and slept beside her. We ignored the issue, planning to discuss it post-trip. Before she left, we had dates and incredible intimacy. Regarding the K thread, I saw flirtatious texts about her sleeping on his shoulder during the flight. Adjacent seats were impossible via check-in. They moved purposefully. Since the team spends time together, the lack of digital chatter made sense. Yesterday, she arrived at the hotel. I knew this via location tracking. I waited for contact. After 30 minutes, I asked if she was out. She called, claiming she just entered her room. Her neck and chest area were flushed red. I recognized the mark. It looks like the friction burn from my beard when we are intimate. I questioned her. She feigned surprise, blaming her scarf. The mark was unilateral and too extensive for a scarf. I didn't press, needing concrete proof without revealing my hand. We spoke for an hour. She was agitated, delaying her bedtime routine, which is usually consistent. I stalled, waiting for Kay to message. I asked about the spa. She claimed she barely entered due to overcrowding. Her details failed to align. Having been awake for 36 hours, I recorded the call for analysis. I slept well finally. This morning, no messages between them. She video called later, giving a brief update and warning that silence meant she was busy, not misbehaving. If you have listened this far, thank you. My mind is reeling. Divorce is a constant thought. We plan to purchase a home and start a family next year. Even if nothing physical occurred, she betrayed me by inviting Kay to her room after saying goodnight. She betrayed me by nurturing a bond with Kay after I expressed discomfort. She is risking her career and our marriage. I cannot live scrutinizing every action as a sign of deceit. She had unexplained bruises on her thighs days after the bar night. I certainly didn't cause them. I hate feeling forced to spy. Yet, I feel the evidence is too circumstantial for divorce. Our finances are separated for complex reasons. The vehicle is in her name. Threatening divorce might cause her to hide assets, leaving me with nothing. Ultimately, I am heartbroken. I adore her. She was my soulmate. But that woman seems gone, replaced in mere days. I am lost. What if I am mistaken? She is suddenly texting me flirtatiously, a behavior absent for weeks. She has worked remotely since January, meeting colleagues rarely. No new encrypted apps installed, but they use a corporate chat platform which is discreet. Edit 4. She called again, back at the first hotel. She mentioned an arm bruise, claiming ignorance of its origin. The camera was too dark to verify. She said, "I am all bruised up," then corrected to just the bruise. Strange. Preparing to sleep, I saw a message from my wife to Kay on her laptop. It began as work talk, but felt flirtatious and plausibly deniable. I waited. I knew it would shift because we had just said goodnight. She initiated, "Where's that novel of yours? Is it over there?" "Perhaps. You could bring it to my suite." "Terrible plan. I told you it is permitted." I was unsure of the risk. "The novel is already here. Happy you found it. Unless you need to inspect it again. However, I believe your mints are still here." "Yes, they are. Maybe I require some mints now." "Only if you plan to sleep and cause no trouble." "I am certainly going to sleep." "Go retrieve your mints. Unlock the door." "I am shattered. You all warned me, and the confirmation arrived swiftly. I retained legal counsel. He guided my response. She messaged this morning. I delayed replying to draft my statement. She sensed the shift, changing her social media passwords and removing chat links. I emailed her stating, all future communication goes through my lawyer. I initiated no contact. Kay attempted to call. I blocked him. She called my friend, feigning ignorance. Her friends are asking for details. My lawyer advised silence until she speaks to him. She is playing the victim. Edit 6. She claims in emails she will die if I don't respond. I am worried but resolute. Edit 7. She emailed, I haven't betrayed you but was unfair and dishonest. Trickle truth begins. She suspects someone saw Kay enter her room and thinks that is the extent of my knowledge. Edit 8. The hardest hour of my life. She claimed her battery was dying while emailing suicide threats. I called the police for a wellness check. Her friend booked her a hotel. She insists on speaking face-to-face. She promised to tell her family the truth so I wouldn't have to. Edit 9. She reached the hotel. She claims the full truth is in a digital note. I wonder if this is manipulation. She emailed her version of the facts. Her friend had asked her if she messaged Kay, and my wife denied it. Now, the fun facts. This is why you withhold your evidence. She admitted to another instance on Friday where they danced and he attempted to kiss her. She claims she refused, citing her marriage. Regarding Kay, she insists no intimacy occurred. She claims she never viewed Kay romantically before. She admits to sleeping on his shoulder on the bus, meaning she sought him out again. She frames it as a mutual decision to sit together, sharing the blame. Regarding room 3, she claims she didn't hear him and her roommate let him in. She woke up to him hugging her. She told him to stop, and the roommate ejected him. She is lying about the timeline and initiation. She admitted Kay came for his book. He asked colleagues for storage space earlier. She claims he visited after she messaged about possessing the book, which we know is false. The book was with him. He lingered. They hugged intimately, and she allowed it. Apart from hugging, she claims nothing else happened. She admitted another night where he stayed longer, likely the mince night. He sat on the bed, they hugged, nothing more. She knew he wanted more, and perhaps she did too. He left after 30 minutes. He kissed her neck once, but she claims it wasn't the red mark I saw. She used his phone to call me. She admits crossing lines and blames stress, saying she hurt herself emotionally to cope. She deleted messages to avoid suspicion. She claims the only inappropriate text was, unlock the door. She changed passwords, fearing the other guy from Friday would message her. She denies sex but admits flirting went too far. She requests compassion and financial aid for a hotel, though she has funds. She says I may not believe she deserves help, but she needs it. I am conflicted. Edit 10. Last night escalated. She sent a screenshot of a chat with Kay. Wife. He says he has proof we slept together, which doesn't exist. Kay. Whatever proof he has is false. I don't know where he got it. Wife. I don't think the truth matters, but someone gave him a reason to suspect. Kay. Of course truth matters. What proof if nothing happened? Wife. No idea. I told him everything. Kay. Sorry you are going through this. She believes I told her friend I have proof of intercourse. She distinguishes clearly between sex and everything else, as if only sex warrants this reaction. She sent a video identifying herself and transferring the car title to me. I saw background details but couldn't locate her. Recognizing suicide preparation behaviors, I called her. We spoke for an hour. I recorded it. My goal was to assess her safety and location. She hung up repeatedly, denying sex or kissing anyone else. I feared for her life, so I proposed a compromise. A 1-week cooling-off period before meeting face-to-face. She refused, claiming her heart couldn't take the weight. She became aggressive, asking why I needed a week if she had confessed everything. I managed to de-escalate. Now I face the meeting. I do not want reconciliation. Her lack of empathy is telling. I may arrange a mediated session with a therapist to review the facts. I will record it. I cannot delay the meeting without risking her stability. I doubt she will admit to anything unprovable. I may request a polygraph. Edit 11. A friend suggested, only if you cause no trouble implies he caused trouble previously. However, her timeline claims he only stayed 5 minutes the prior night. Her story contradicts itself. Edit 12. I called V. She admitted someone knocked. She denied letting them in, but eventually admitted the person entered and exited. She accused me of ruining her vacation and claims she isn't responsible for their actions, finally feigning a language barrier. Edit 13. I asked my wife for a detailed account. She sent a vague email. She called, admitting to flirting with K a month ago and at the bar. She admitted being with him in the spa, another lie exposed. She insists on the room 3 story, but can't explain why V opened the door. She shows no remorse for lying. I suspect a pathological issue. She needs professional help. I may vacate our apartment so she has a safe space to seek therapy. She agreed to a polygraph and a medical exam to prove no intercourse occurred. She even suggested checking her undergarments, which was bizarre. My only option for truth is a face-to-face meeting with a witness. Or I could text K pretending to be her, threatening a report for harassment to see his reaction. That feels wrong. I am convinced the relationship is over, but I care for her well-being. She has no support system here. I tried posting earlier, but bots removed it. Since the last update, I pressed for details. She denied, cried, and begged. I lost weight from stress. Monday was self-care day. I drove to a village, ate fresh food, and smiled for the first time. I got a transformative massage that cleared my mind. I returned to the hotel and read her detailed timeline email. It listed minor details like Uber rides but remained vague on the important events. She forgot when she called me. It became clear. There is no return. I sent her an email noting her changing stories. She dismissed it as memory lapses. I requested a meeting with her best friend present. No contact was brutal. We kept talking. I asked why V would open the door for a stranger. She claimed V was flirting with K and thought the visit was for her. I used a tactic from my workplace harassment training. I told her if K entered uninvited, it was sexual assault requiring investigation. She stopped begging. Later, she sent a screenshot of her messaging V. I am sorry, but I need an answer. V replied, I was shocked by your husband involving me. Please stop. I wept. She sent this to preempt my reaction. I admitted calling V. My wife promised to leave V out of it. The meeting was excruciating. I read a prepared text to avoid being overly harsh or emotional. I described the damage and the scars. She left. Her friend remained. Her friend asked if she had lied before. My wife had admitted to her that she is a skilled liar. The friend revealed my wife told her 2 different versions of events. Later, my wife texted implying self-harm and asking to transfer assets. She emailed a history of our relationship, highlighting her failures. She shared a photo album titled Love. I declined the invite. I understand the value of no contact now. I reread the text with K to remind myself the betrayal was real. Thank you all for the support. I will update when papers are signed. I know I said the truth didn't matter, but my brain spirals. I need to confirm this was premeditated. Reddit users analyzed the book and Mint's conversation. It didn't make grammatical sense. Code breakdown. Where is your novel? Equals. Come to my room. You used the book excuse last time. You can deliver in my room. Equals. Come tonight. Bad idea. Equals risk of being seen. Although I think your mints are here still. Equals. Come over. Maybe I need mints. Equals I should come. Only if you sleep and cause no trouble. Equals we will have sex again. I am going to sleep for sure. Equals I will be tired after. Go get your mints. Equals come over now. Unlock the door. Equals let me in. Here is the reality. She claimed he visited the night before to retrieve a book she carried for him. She said he stayed 5 minutes, but she lied about when she went to sleep. The phrase, the novel is here already, is the key. If he retrieved it the prior night, already makes no sense. He lost the book. There was no book. It was his excuse to enter the room the previous night. That is why she asks, where is your book? The teasing. Is it there? Fits. He left the room empty-handed because I messaged her, forcing him to flee. So, the novel is here already means he found the excuse. Glad you got it already means glad you found the excuse. The mints were likely left behind the previous night, hence here still. This explains the red marks on her neck and the silence from the previous night. One commenter, Kronek, writes, "This is tragic. So many lies, but you are handling it well. Keep focusing on yourself. You deserve better. Wild Grapefruit adds, did she finally admit to cheating? Or is she using the word vaguely to avoid admitting to sex? This is mental gymnastics to preserve her self-image. She wants to believe she is a good person who made a mistake, not a cheater. The appear responds, she used every word I fed her. Betrayal, gaslighting. She parrots them to feign remorse. She still denies sex. She wants to convince people she is taking responsibility without admitting the core act. I told her if she wants to tell the full truth, my email is open. Otherwise, it is just logistics. She admitted a third night where they fell asleep together. She has no credibility left. I sent a final anger-filled text. Tertiary78 says, this is past needing divorce. Deleting messages and constant tracking is no way to live. Shady people do shady things. Plan your separation. Newly concludes, having suffered this, she is having an affair. Trust your gut. Get finances in order. Good luck.